Yes.
Here.
Okay.
So this is the actual example of summary of current account in the year 2010, and this I'm talking about US. So if you see here, current account has three parts. Number one, trade, the balance of trade. Number two, the income. And number three, that is transfer payments, right? So you see here, trade balance, which is US exports of services. And you see here, income from different types of investments. And then we have imports, and then we have, and what are the transfers? Any gift from the governments, other governments, any aid, right? This kind of stuff. And at the end, so this is negative. What does it mean? It is deficit or it is surplus?
Deficit.
Deficit.
It is good or bad?
It's bad. It's deficit.
Bad.
Well, that is open for discussion. For developing countries, it is good. Why? Because developing countries, they need more plants, more raw materials, right? So their exports will be higher. Sorry, imports will be higher because they were importing plants and machinery. There are going to be factories, right? Infrastructure is going there, so they would be purchasing a lot of money. A lot of items, machinery, heavy machinery from outside countries. So their imports going to be huge. So normally their running balance would be deficit. Developed countries, because they are already developed, if there is no push to the economy, I'm talking about the economic stuff here, then their normal balance would be surplus. Why?
Surplus.
Because they are already developed, they don't need heavy machinery. They export, like Germany, US, they export automobiles, right? They're selling so much things outside country. So their exports will be increased, their imports will be decreased, so their normal balance would be surplus. So normally for developed countries, the current account is a surplus. If it is deficit, it is bad for the country. So in that case here, because we are talking about US, it is good or bad? And US is developed country. So for US it is
Bad.
For China, it is
Bad.
Good.
It's good because China is developing country, not fully developed. For Russia, it is also developing country. It is good. Why? Because they are importing so much heavy machinery, and over there they are installing factories, establishing businesses. So that's why their running balance is deficit. So good, you understand that? So whether deficit is good, whether surplus is good, it depends. The answer is
The country, whether it's developing or not.
right. If it is developing country, it is good to have a deficit balance. If that is surplus, then what? It is good or bad? If developing
Bad
country
for us.
got surplus, is good or bad?
It's bad. Bad.
Again, it depends.
Not bad. It could be good because it
Yeah,
might
it
have
could be
already
good
bought
or it could be
equipment.
bad. Why? How good? Because now the country is in the final stage of becoming developed country. They don't import so much heavy machinery. Now they are entering into developed stage, right? Or maybe the government has banned the imports of heavy industries. That's why they don't import. So that's why, on the other hand, their exports are good. So they have surplus balance. So the governments, they do this kind of stuff. Because nowadays, after 2 or 3 months, they're going to be like American elections, right? So what they will do, they will try to achieve this surplus in 2 or 3 months, and they will be playing a lot of stuff on these. Look, it is in my presidency. This year we have a lot of surplus. It is because of me. What and on the other hand, what they are doing, they are blocking the imports of heavy industry because it needs billions of dollars, right? So that's why they can play with these current accounts deficit or surplus as well. And it can be increase or decrease. Yes, with government policies, it can increase or decrease. So if again I ask question, deficit is good or surplus is good, your answer should be, it depends. Question is unclear. If I said for developed country, the deficit good or surplus is good, then you say that for developing country
Surplus is good.
it's good. And if I say that, what about surplus? It's good or bad? Then you can say it depends. Whether you are entering into final stage, then you can say that surplus is good. And if you are in initial stage and you have surplus, it means government is doing bad. Government should lift the ban on heavy industries. Government should should promote open businesses, should let eradicate the taxation on imports of goods. It's like that. If developing country having surplus, it can be a bad sign. Again, it depends
What
on
do
the
you mean?
policy. Yes, Michael.
What do you mean trade surplus in the initial stage is bad? What's initial stage?
For example,
Like when this
underdeveloped
starts,
country, like the underdeveloped countries are like, we have, what are the underdeveloped country right now? Some of the
developed.
for example,
United
Somalia.
Arab Emirates, very developed.
What?
United Arab Emirates, very developed country.
We
Well-
need underdeveloped.
Well,
Ah,
the developed countries definition also depends, because there are numerous factors which call that developed. Education, high-tech industry, talent, IT sector, all the stuff. It's not about you're super rich and you are developed. No. They are richest people,
yeah, I took everything
okay?
into consideration too. Yeah.
So for example, Sudan is underdeveloped. There is a lot of war going on over there, and they are split into two parts, North Sudan, South Sudan. It's like that. So now they are entering into from underdeveloped to developing and then developed. So when a country start developing, it means their policies, taxation policies are very relaxed. And when taxation policies are relaxed, it means there is no taxation or minimum taxation on imports, then people will import more to make businesses, to expand businesses, right? So they need machinery. So they import from Russia, Germany, from US, from Japan, from China, right? And they install factories over there. So in that case, their imports increases, right? And their imports increases, their normal balance would be deficit. What if you are entering into a developing stage and you have surplus in current account? It means your taxation policies are very, very tight. You have, for example, 300% taxation on import on vehicles, automobiles, or import on machinery. It is feasible for people to buy machinery and to buy automobiles? No. Then people are not purchasing from outside world or not importing. Automatically means imports are decreased, exports are increased, so you have surplus, right? It means you are not promoting business in your country. You are just collecting taxes, that's it, right? So it can be a bad sign in future. And we will discuss about the effect of when the effect of inflation come, then it will be a worst case scenario, a nightmare for a country. We will discuss in our coming lectures, coming chapters, how the inflation going to be affecting on these. Okay, so you understand?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a 10 minutes break, and then we will be starting again.
Sir,
Yes.
Before you leave, can I ask something? The library is gonna close very soon, so I'm wondering what time. What's the exact time of our end of the class?
11:40.